Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar, and ladies and gentlemen, we have a fun little video today where I have to talk about why I haven't been arrested from accessing the deep web. Now, this is one of those big questions I've been asked ever since Deep Web Browsing 1, believe it or not. Like, how did you get onto the deep web, Muta, without the FBI busting inside and cornholing you? Now, there's a big answer to that, okay, but let me just give you the blanket history of it. I've been asked this a bunch of times. Now, I just want to say for the record, I've never had a problem with the police. I'm a very upstanding, good gentleman, all right? As much as I like to portray myself as a weirdo on the internet, I am a very, very good citizen in my community, and I do the utmost to make sure it is a clean, good, healthy community. All right, now that legal is fucking happy, let's get into how stupid some of these fucking questions are. So, first one is going to this website, Quora. If you've never been to the website Quora, all right, get ready for a fucking treat, all right? If you think Yahoo Answers was fucking based, this is where God's great questions were given. So anyways, this is, why isn't Mutahar from Some Ordinary Gamers arrested for accessing the deep web? All right, so this is a very good question, right? Very fucking good and pertinent. Now, this is a question that was answered by, like, verified users like Kane, who has, like, the sweetest Assassin's Creed, like, logo I've ever seen. 1.5 million answer views. My God, access to computer since Windows 3.11 and MS-DOS. Yeah, actually, I've played with those operating systems. Thank you for making me feel old, by the way. This is a critical mistake you've made with your question. Namely, the deep web and dark web are two different things. It's like asking why someone wasn't arrested for accessing the internet, since you can download illegal software on it, when the person didn't ever access the Pirate Bay. Yeah, it's true. That's exactly the kind of answer you should give. To the point where somebody else who's been using the dark web for over a year writes, because it isn't illegal to access the deep web. Your question is like asking, why haven't I been arrested for accessing the internet? Thank you! Unless the Tor relay is illegal in your country, which it is for some countries, then you're not committing any crime. I live in Canada, and using Tor isn't illegal over here. The day it's illegal over here is the day I'm gonna have some problems, alright? But if you go around, there's more questions like, do the ghost box things you buy from the deep web actually contain a spirit? No, they do not, okay? They do not. Now you might be like, but Muta, how can you prove it? I'm gonna wager both my testes right now and my first, second, third-born children that there has never been a goddamn ghost that's coming out of a spirit box. But you know what? I don't want to be super cynical today. I'm kidding, I will. But guess what? They don't exist. Anyways, though, there's more questions. Like, has anything scary or creepy happened to you while accessing the dark web? Yes, I saw a man poo. All right, I saw butt cheeks go open goatsy style, you know, a little stretch. And then I saw poo coming out, like a little nice formed, like, poo missile. You know, like a little poo missile. Dude, I'm like 12. Now, to understand what the deep web, dark web, and all this stuff is, and get rid of all the misconceptions, there's a nice little graphic that I like to show people, okay? Think of this like the educational hour of Some Ordinary Gamers. This is a good graphic, all right? This is by SBS Cybersecurity, all right? Doesn't really matter who made it. It's a very good graphic to show you, okay? So the surface web is what we use, right? Which is Google, shout out to all my boys that use Bing, am I right? And then Wikipedia, okay? So this is like the common search engines that are basically sending spiders and crawlers out all over the internet to basically gather and sort of index sites for people to access, right? This is like every time you go to Google and you type in like a query, okay, you get sent to, you know, you get given a giant list of sites that you can access. Those are sites that have been crawled and specifically cataloged and indexed for people to easily access, right? Like, for instance, if you Google G Fuel and you go to their website, you can actually buy a bunch of amazing flavors, and if you use code SOG right now, you get 30% off today and for the weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, Sonic Peach Rings is my favorite flavor, but that's a quick example of what is a clear web website. Now, the deep web, all right, is 90% of the information on the internet, but the surface web crawlers like Google, Wikipedia, and Bing can't access. So this includes your academic information, medical records, legal documentation, scientific reports, subscription information, social media. Okay, you might be like, wow, that's some really private information. This also includes basically things like iCloud, Google Drive, whatever you want to call it, private hosting websites where people upload files. These files never get cataloged and sent to any of these search browsers, right? But they're obviously part of the deep web. If I store a picture of my cock and balls on the internet, right, on mega.nz, okay, the reality is that picture will stay there as part of the deep web. Okay, it's going to be a private picture because it's part of the side of the internet that's not being indexed by Google. Then you get to the dark web, which is a part of the deep web accessible only through certain browsers such as Tor, designed to ensure anonymity, right? That's true. We use Tor to browse the deep web, all right? We get the package, we download it, it's a browser, we install it, we connect, and then we have our good old fun. This includes illegal information, Tor encrypted sites, political protests, drug trafficking sites, private communications, which is all true, okay? We've all seen pieces of this on deep web browsing, right? It might as well just be called dark web browsing or whatever, but we do get a mix between surface, deep, and dark on that entire series. So I think deep web is probably the best homogenized way to say it. Anyways, though, that's a very good graphic to show you why I haven't been arrested. That's to show you what's actually on the web over here. Now, if you go to YouTube, this is like the giant hellhole that it is, all right? You see my face? You see how dark it is? Well, let me show you the dark side. Now, this is the infographic show, which I have no problem with the infographic show, right? But I think videos like this harm the deep web's reputation a lot, the dark web or whatever. Now, it's not like they're wrong or anything, right, but what they say, but people get this deep and dark web shit confused so much. And when you start showing shit like why you should never visit the dark web, ha, you browse the dark web, now you're getting fingered in prison, haha, what the fuck? That's the kind of message people are starting to develop. And you get like, why the dark web became the place you should never visit, all right? It's not like you should never visit it, you should just be a little fucking careful. How the FBI will catch you on the dark web. I've been to the dark web numerous times. FBI hadn't known jack shit, all right? I think the FBI is too busy dealing with other real life scenarios than busting people on the internet. But I don't know, can you see how, like, I'm not kidding when they peddle this information and it sounds like, ha, you access the dark web, now you're getting fucked in prison. All right, you know what I mean? Like, it's too much. It's too much. I mean, if you just type deep web alone on YouTube, you get sent to this chubby Indian dude that's browsing. Oh, what is that? A coding website? Are you coding, son? I hate myself, dude. Dude, the Stockholm University is making videos on this? What? What? Okay. Okay. At least Linus is here to clear up all the confusion. I actually appreciate that. Thank you, God. Now, here's the fun part, okay? If you go to the Tor anonymity network that people like to claim, hey, this is the dark web, you should never access it. I'm going to read you something real quick, okay? This is a nice little excerpt. Attacks against Tor are an active area of academic research, which is welcomed by the Tor project itself. The bulk of the funding of Tor's development has come from the federal government of the United States, initially through the Office of Naval Research and DARPA, okay? These are military fucking projects. These are military agencies that have tons of black box money, black economy money that they're funneling into projects like this. And you want to know why they're doing it? Well, Tor is open source, right? And as much as people like to think open source projects are like hobbyists and shit, they are to an extent, but a lot of the funding does come from private individuals like this. And the whole goal of it is we get a better product. The actual US government gets an actual way to send their messages encrypted without being breached through, right? Which is sort of why they're financing this project to begin with. It's very beneficial for the United States military to have a fucking transmission network that can be truly anonymized, okay? It allows them to do very secretive shit around the world with ease, right? But that's getting way off the beaten path, right? This is just to show you if this was illegal, all right, it wouldn't be freely available, it wouldn't be freely open source, and it wouldn't be fucking financed by the US military. The DARPA project, fuck, I think even the NSA gives a bit of its money to this kind of nonsense. But this is kind of just trying to like demystifying why I haven't been arrested, all of this deep dark web nonsense. There's also other ways, and this pertains specifically to me, why I haven't actually ever been like arrested or anything, and it's because I take my security very, very seriously. For instance, every time you've seen me cover deep web browsing or like browse the internet, I've never actually been using my own computer anyways. In fact, the actual video feed I'm getting isn't even my own computer. Let me explain that real quick. On my computer, all I have to do is SSH into another like IP address. This is my local IP address, like my actual router one. If you think you can hack me via it, congratulations, let's hope for the best. But this is what my local IP address is. There are other computers that I have in other parts parts of the world that I ended up buying that I SSH into. SSH is secure shell environments, all right? So basically I'm connecting to another system through its command line. Basically, it's like command line access, right? So once I get into it, effectively what I'm doing is I'm launching a VNC client, or I'm launching a way for me to get a video feed from that computer. So kind of like remote desktop, sort of like using something like TeamViewer, or I guess if you want to talk about like cloud services, kind of like Shadow PC, and I'm getting a video feed sent to my computer. It's through this that I use software like Veracrypt, which is what I use to create an encrypted container on that remote system. And then I'm using Tails OS, all right, which is like a Linux distribution that most people use when they're going on the deep web in a virtual machine, so that no data gets stored, nothing ever gets stored on any system, right? So I am not ever harboring any files that could potentially throw me into a prison sentence. Now, even beyond all of that, okay, I don't have to take those steps. I just do it because I'm kind of fucking paranoid sometimes. But anyways, let's go further into it. Browsing the deep or dark web, you really have to, you really get told what you're clicking into, right? Like, a lot of people think that by accessing it, just like a bunch of illegal shit is going to fly into your hard drives or your computer. But the reality of it is like when you're on, like, when I'm browsing, okay, I use plenty of link lists and like search engines. And none of the search engines that I use, okay, all right, do not have at least a header to tell me what that site contains, right? So when I'm browsing, most of the child-like love sites will often tell me that, hey, child-friendly XXX. And I know from that end, I shouldn't click on that site, even as a joke, because I have been told, I know from looking at it that that this is an illegal website and I shouldn't go to it, which is why I don't, all right? And that's kind of the gist of what I do, all right? It's how I don't end up on illegal websites. If there's a chance I end up on an illegal website, I scrap the recordings out there, get rid of it, and then I do my best to report that website to whatever the appropriate cybercrime unit for that website could be. If I know that it's an American website or whatever, I'm going to go to the FBI cyber tip line, RCMP cyber tip line, any tip line that I can go to. I do what I can to help weed out the bad sites from the regular harmless websites. If you watch most of the deep web stuff anyways, it's just harmless fucking shit anyways. And no, you will not get arrested for accessing a marketplace. Only if you choose to buy illegal shit from a marketplace are you screwing yourself over. No, you cannot get arrested for browsing hitman websites. You do, however, get arrested for buying the hitmen to kill other people. That's a whole separate story, which is something that I've never fucking done. I think way back in the day I saw like other like deep web YouTubers who were like, wow, Muda's browsing some illegal shit. Never ever fucking happened. But, you know, it is what it is. There's a lot of misinformation you can clear up, but I hope this video did clear up a lot of what I was really asked about a long time ago. Honestly, I hope you all laughed. I hope you all fucking learned something. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why I do not have a 5-star wanted rating. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. Oh, shit. Wait.